Admiral Park Taiho stood at the window of Orbital Command Station Horizon, watching Earth spin slowly below him. The blue and green planet looked peaceful from up here. He had spent 40 years protecting that peace. 40 years of careful diplomacy, trade agreements, and patience. Humanity had joined the Galactic Federation 120 years ago. And they had worked hard to build a reputation as peaceful people, traders, diplomats, friends to all species. His communicator beeped. He ignored it. It beeped again. Then again. Then it would not stop. He picked it up. What is it? Admiral. The voice belonged to Lieutenant Commander Ojinho, his communications officer. His voice was shaking. Sir, we have lost contact with New Bizan. Park felt his stomach drop. New Bizan was a colony world on the edge of human space. Over 4 million people lived there. Most of them were families, farmers, teachers, children. When? Park asked. 3 hours ago. We sent standard check-in signals. No response. Then we sent emergency signals. Still nothing. Then we received ... Sir, you need to see this yourself. Park moved quickly through the station corridors. Officers stepped aside when they saw his face. He reached the intelligence center and found Kim Yuno waiting for him. She was young for her position, only 32, but she was the best codebreaker and analyst in the fleet. Right now, she looked like she had aged 10 years. Show me, Park said. Kim pressed a button. The main screen flickered to life. At first, Park saw only static and broken images. Then the picture cleared. He saw fire. Buildings burning. People running. Then he saw the Valkyrie soldiers. They were tall creatures covered in dark scales with 4 arms and eyes that glowed yellow. They moved through the streets of New Bizan's capital city with weapons raised. They were not taking prisoners. They were not making arrests. They were killing everyone they saw. Park watched a Valkyrie soldier shoot a woman who was holding a baby. He watched another soldier throw a grenade into a school. He watched them laugh. They were laughing as they killed. The video changed to show a Valkyrie commander standing in front of a burning building. He spoke directly to the camera. This world belongs to the Dominion now. These humans were in our way. We have removed them. Let this be a message to all species. The Valkyrie take what we want. The screen went dark. Park did not move. He did not speak. Kim Yuno was crying silently beside him. Other officers in the room were pale and shaking. How many? Park finally asked. We estimate ... Kim had to stop and take a breath. We estimate 4.2 million dead, sir. The entire colony. 4.2 million. Park thought about that number. He thought about the families. The children? The old people who had moved to New Bizan to retire in peace. All of them gone. All of them murdered by creatures who laughed while they did it. Get me President Lee, he said. Now, 1 hour later, Park stood in the emergency chamber of the United Earth Council. Every screen showed the face of a council member. President Lee Jie sat at the head of the table. She was a small woman, 60 years old, with gray hair and kind eyes. Park had always thought she looked like someone's grandmother. But right now, those kind eyes were hard as stone. We have all seen the footage, President Lee said. Her voice was calm and steady. We have all seen what the Valkyrie Dominion did to our people. The question now is, what do we do about it? A council member from Europe spoke first. We must contact the Galactic Federation. They have rules against this kind of attack. The Valkyrie must face justice through proper channels. I agree, said another member from South America. We cannot act alone. We must work within the system. Park felt anger rising in his chest. He stepped forward. The system? He pulled up images on the main screen. Bodies in the streets. Children dead in their beds. The system did not protect these people. The system will give us meetings and debates and resolutions while the Valkyrie laugh at us. Admiral Park, a council member said sharply, we cannot start a war. We are not a military power. We are traders and diplomats, Park almost laughed, almost. Is that what you think? Is that what you really believe? President Lee raised her hand for silence. Everyone stopped talking. She stood up slowly and walked to the window. For a long moment, she looked out at the stars. For 120 years, she said softly, we have shown the galaxy our patience, our restraint, our civilization. She turned to face the council. They mistook it for weakness. She pressed a button on her desk. New images appeared on every screen, ships, massive black warships covered in weapons. Hundreds of them. Thousands of smaller vessels. All hidden in secret bases throughout human space. The council members stared in shock. We built these over 80 years, President Lee continued. We hoped we would never need them. We hoped the galaxy would let us live in peace. Her voice grew harder. That hope died with 4.2 million of our people. She looked directly at the camera that broadcast to all of Earth. I am authorizing Operation Nightfall. Full military deployment. The Valkyrie Dominion wanted to send a message. We are going to send one back. She turned to Admiral Park. Admiral, you have your orders. The Reaper fleet is yours. Park saluted. His heart was pounding. Part of him was horrified by what was coming. Part of him was glad. Yes, Madam President. He returned to Orbital Command Station Horizon and walked onto the main bridge. His crew looked at him with questions in their eyes. They had all seen the footage from New Bizen. They all had friends there. Family there. Open a channel to all Reaper Fleet commanders, Park said. Channel open, sir. Park took a deep breath. He thought about the laughing Valkyrie soldiers. He thought about the children who would never grow up. He thought about 120 years of humanity being peaceful and kind and civilized. All Reaper Fleet commanders, he said. This is Admiral Park Taiho, authorization code Nightfall 77 Alpha. Wake up the Reapers. All of them. We move in 6 hours. He closed the channel and looked at his crew. They were not shocked anymore. They were not scared. They were angry. Good. Tonight, Park said quietly, the galaxy learns who we really are. In hidden bases across human space, massive doors began to open. Ships that had waited in darkness for decades powered up their engines. Weapon systems came online. Crews ran to their stations, the wolves were waking up, and they were hungry. Captain Cho Minho stood on the bridge of the battleship Vengeance and watched the stars through the main window. The ship had been sleeping inside an asteroid for 30 years. Now it was awake. Now it was moving. Around him, his crew worked at their stations, preparing systems that had never been used in real combat. The Vengeance was not like the ships the galaxy knew. Human trading vessels were white and smooth and elegant. They looked friendly. The Vengeance was black and angular and covered in weapons. It did not look friendly. It looked like what it was, a machine built to kill. All systems online, Captain, said Lieutenant Beak Sora, his tactical officer. She was a small woman with short black hair and cold eyes. Minho had served with her for 10 years. He had never seen her smile. Weapons are ready. Shields are ready. We are ready? Good, Minho said. He looked at the crew roster on his screen. 1,200 people on this ship. All of them volunteers. All of them knew they might not come home. His first officer, Commander Han Do-yun, walked up beside him. Do-yun was tall and calm, the kind of man who thought carefully before he spoke. He was also the closest thing Minho had to a friend. The crew is scared, Do-yun said quietly. They have never done this before. None of us have. They should be scared, Minho replied. Fear keeps you alive. He paused. But they are also angry. Anger will keep them fighting. Do-yun nodded slowly. I heard about your brother. I'm sorry. Minho's jaw tightened. His younger brother, Cho Sung-ho, had moved to New Bizen 5 years ago. He was a teacher there. He taught children how to read. Now he was dead. Now all his students were dead. Save your sorry, Minho said. We have work to do. The communications station beeped. Ensign Yoon Jisu, the youngest officer on the bridge, looked up from her screen. She was only 23, fresh from the academy. Her eyes were wide. Captain, we are receiving a fleet-wide broadcast. Admiral Park is speaking. Put it on main screen. Admiral Park's face appeared. He looked tired but determined. All Reaper fleet vessels, this is Admiral Park. We are now leaving human space. Our destination is Valkyrie territory. Our mission is simple. We are going to hurt them. We are going to hurt them so badly that no species in this galaxy will ever think about attacking our people again. He paused and looked directly at the camera. I know what I am asking of you. I know some of you will not come home. But I also know that 4.2 million of our people are dead. Children are dead. Families are dead. They died because the galaxy thought we were weak. They died because we were too civilized to show our teeth. His voice grew hard. Tonight we show our teeth. Park out, the screen went dark. The bridge was silent. Minho turned to his crew. You heard the Admiral. Set course for Valkyrie space. Maximum speed. Yes, Captain, the helmsman said. The Vengeance turned and accelerated into hyperspace. Around it, 200 capital ships and 3,000 support vessels did the same. The Reaper fleet moved as one, a dark wave flowing through the stars. Far away, in the Galactic Federation Council chambers, Ambassador Quan Haijin stood before representatives of 50 different species. She was a thin woman with silver hair and a face that usually showed patience and kindness. Today it showed nothing at all. Ambassador Quan, the council president said, we have received reports that Earth is mobilizing military forces. This is against Federation protocols. You must explain. Haijin looked at the alien faces around her. Some were concerned. Some were confused. Some were scared. Good, they should be scared. 4.2 million humans are dead, she said. Her voice was flat and calm. Murdered by the Valkyrie Dominion. We reported this to the Council 6 hours ago. What has the Council done? The President shifted uncomfortably. We have formed a committee to investigate. We have sent a diplomatic message to the Valkyrie asking for explanation. A committee, Haijin repeated. A diplomatic message. She almost laughed. Did you ask them nicely? Did you say please? Ambassador, this is not appropriate. We must follow proper channels. We must respect the process. Haijin stepped forward. Several guards moved to stop her, but she ignored them. You told us to be civilized. We were. You told us to use diplomacy. We did. You told us to trust the system. We did? She pointed at the screens showing images from New Bizen. The system failed 4 million of our people. Children burned alive while your system held meetings. What do you expect us to do? Another representative demanded. Start a war? Haijin smiled. It was not a nice smile. We do not expect you to do anything. We will handle this ourselves. You cannot, the president said. Humans are not a military species. You are traitors. You do not have the ships or the weapons to fight the Valkyrie. Haijin pressed a button on her communicator. The main screen changed to show the Reaper fleet moving through space. 200 black warships. Thousands of support vessels. Weapons that the galaxy had never seen. The council chamber went completely silent. We have been building these for 80 years, Haijin said. We hoped we would never need them. We were wrong. She turned and walked toward the door. Stay out of our way. In Valkyrie space, High Commander Vorath received reports of the human fleet. He sat in his command chair and laughed. His officers laughed with him. Humans? Vorath said. Fighting? This is a joke. They are merchants. They are weak. They talk and trade and bow to everyone they meet. He waved his hand dismissively. Let them come. We will destroy them in an hour and then take more of their worlds. One of his officers looked uncertain. High Commander, the reports say they have 200 capital ships. That is more than we expected. Numbers mean nothing, Vorath said. Humans do not know how to fight. They have no stomach for blood. They will fire a few shots, See their people die and run away crying? He stood up. Prepare a small defense fleet. 20 ships. That will be more than enough. I will not waste resources on these soft creatures. His officers saluted and left to follow orders. Voreth looked out his window at the stars. He thought about New Bassam. He thought about the screaming humans and the burning buildings and the fear in their eyes. It had been beautiful. It had been easy, he smiled. Come then, little humans. Come and die. He did not know that the wolves were already at his door. He did not know that tonight everything would change. He would learn. They would all learn. The Valkyrie military outpost on Kethro 7 was supposed to be safe. It was deep inside Valkyrie territory, protected by orbital defense platforms and a garrison of 5,000 soldiers. Commander Dreth had been stationed there for 3 years. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever would happen. This was what he believed. He was drinking hot tea in his office when the alarm started. What is that? He demanded, spilling tea on his uniform. His communications officer ran in, eyes wide with fear. Commander, ships are dropping out of hyperspace. Many ships. They are not responding to our signals. Dreth stood up. What kind of ships? Whose ships? The officer swallowed hard. Human ships, Commander. Dreth laughed. Humans? Here? He walked to the window and looked up at the sky. He expected to see small trading vessels, maybe a few patrol ships. Something he could scare away with a warning shot. Instead, he saw darkness. Dozens of black warships blocked out the stars. They were massive and ugly and covered in weapons. They did not look like anything he had ever seen. They did not look human at all. Get me high command, Dreth ordered. Now. He never got the chance on the Bridge of the Vengeance. Captain Cho Minho watched the Valkyrie outpost through his tactical screen. He could see their defense platforms powering up. He could see their garrison scrambling to battle stations. They were confused. They were scared. Good. Lieutenant Beak, he said calmly, target all orbital defenses. Fire when ready. Beak Sora's fingers moved across her console. Targets locked, firing. The Vengeance and 12 other ships fired at the same moment. Beams of bright blue energy cut through space and hit the defense platforms. The platforms exploded instantly. In 4 minutes, every orbital defense around Kethro 7 was gone. Orbital defenses eliminated, Beak reported. No enemy fire returned. They did not even have time to shoot, Commander Handoyan said quietly. He sounded troubled. Minho did not respond. He opened a channel to the marine transport ships. Commander Shin, you are clear to deploy ground forces. Marine Commander Shin Yunji's voice came back strong and steady. Understood, Captain. We are going in. Drop ships fell from the transport vessels like rain. They entered the atmosphere of Kethro 7 and headed straight for the military base. Inside one of those ships, Eunji checked her weapon and looked at her soldiers. They were young and old, men and women, all of them wearing black armor. All of them ready? Listen to me, she said. These are the same creatures that killed our families on New Bizan. They killed children. They laughed while they did it. She let that sink in. Today we make them stop laughing. No prisoners. No mercy. Understood? Yes, Commander, they said together. The drop ships landed hard outside the base. The doors opened. The Marines ran out firing. The Valkyrie were waiting for them. They expected the humans to fight like humans always did in the stories. Carefully, slowly, taking cover and trying not to get hurt. They expected the humans to hesitate. They were wrong. The human Marines attacked like wild animals. They charged straight at the Valkyrie positions, screaming and shooting. They did not stop when their friends fell. They did not stop when they were wounded. They kept coming and coming and coming. Yunji led from the front. A Valkyrie soldier jumped out at her, swinging a blade. She ducked under it, shot him in the chest, and kept moving. Another soldier tried to run. She shot him in the back. She did not feel bad about it. Push forward, she ordered. Do not let them regroup. The Marines pushed. The Valkyrie fell back. Then they fell back more. Then they started to run. On the Vengeance, Ensign Yoon Jisoo monitored the battle from her communications station. She was listening to everything, the marine channels, the ship communications, and the Valkyrie signals. She could hear the Valkyrie screaming for help. She could hear them begging for mercy. "Captain," she said, her voice small, "the Valkyrie base is surrendering. They are asking us to stop." Minho did not turn around. "Did New Bisan surrender?" Jisoo blinked. "Sir? Did the people of New Bisan surrender? Did they ask the Valkyrie to stop?" Yes, sir." "I am sure they did. And did the Valkyrie stop?" Jisoo looked at her screen. She thought about the videos she had seen. The children running. The soldiers laughing. "No, sir. They did not stop. Then neither do we." Minho turned to look at her. His eyes were cold and hard. "We are not here to be fair, Ensign. We are here to teach them what happens when you hurt our people. Continue the assault." "Yes, sir." 2 hours later, the Valkyrie military outpost on Kethro 7 was gone. Every soldier was dead. Every building was destroyed. The human Marines suffered 43 casualties. The Valkyrie suffered 5,000. Minho opened a broadcast channel to all Valkyrie space. His face appeared on every screen, every communicator, every device in Valkyrie territory. "This is Captain Cho Minho of the United Earth Fleet," he said. "New Bisan had 4.2 million souls. You murdered them. You laughed while you did it." He paused. "We are going to take 10 times that number from you. This is not war. This is consequence. This is punishment. This is what you earned." He ended the broadcast. In the Valkyrie capital, High Commander Vorath watched the message with growing horror. His officers stood around him in silence. No one was laughing now. "Get me the Galactic Federation," Vorath said. His voice was shaking. "Tell them the humans have gone insane. Tell them we need help. Tell them." He stopped. He did not know what to tell them. He looked at the screen showing the destroyed outpost. He thought about his 20 ships that he had sent to stop the humans. They were gone. All of them. Gone in minutes. "What have we done?" He whispered. No one answered. Far away. In the intelligence center on Orbital Command Station Horizon, Kim Yuna worked through piles of intercepted Valkyrie communications. She was looking for something specific. She was looking for the fleet that had destroyed New Busan at 3 in the morning. She found it. She sent the coordinates to Admiral Park and Captain Cho at the same time. Then she sat back in her chair and closed her eyes. Her hands were shaking. "Found you," she whispered. On the Vengeance. Minho received the coordinates. He looked at them for a long time. Then he looked at his crew. "Set course for the Valkyrie home system," he said. "Tonight we finish this." The black ships turned and jumped into hyperspace. The hunt was almost over. The Valkyrie homeworld was beautiful from space. Blue oceans, green continents, white clouds. Billions of Valkyrie lived down there, families, children, ordinary people, who had never held a weapon in their lives. Captain Cho Minho looked at the planet through the main window of the Vengeance. He thought about New Bisan. He thought about the 4.2 million humans who would never see their homes again. He thought about his brother. "Captain," Lieutenant Beek said, "Valkyrie Defense Fleet is moving to intercept." 500 ships. 500, Commander Han repeated. He sounded worried. "We have 200. Numbers do not matter," Minho said. "Skill matters. Will matters." He turned to face his crew. "Those ships down there destroyed New Bisan. They killed our families. Our friends. Our children. Today they pay for that. Today we show them what humans do to people who hurt us." The crew stared back at him with hard eyes. They were not scared anymore. They were not uncertain. They were ready. "All ships," Minho broadcast to the fleet. "This is Captain Cho, attack pattern nightfall. No mercy, no retreat. For New Bisan." "For New Bisan." The fleet answered. The 200 human ships accelerated toward the 500 Valkyrie vessels. The Valkyrie opened fire first, sending waves of missiles and energy beams at the approaching humans. The humans did not slow down. They did not take evasive action. They flew straight into the fire. Shields at 60%, Beak reported. 50%, 40, hold course, Minho ordered. Shields at 20%, 10. Hold! The Vengeance shook as weapons fire hit the hull. Alarms screamed. Crew members grabbed their stations to keep from falling. Shields are gone, Beak said. Her voice was completely calm. Hull breaches on decks 7 and 12. Return fire, Minho said. All weapons. Everything we have. The Vengeance fired. Every other human ship fired. Blue and white and red beams of energy cut through space and tore into the Valkyrie fleet. Valkyrie ships exploded. Then more exploded. Then more. The Valkyrie had expected humans to fight defensively. They had expected them to stay back and use long-range weapons. They had expected them to protect themselves. Instead, the humans attacked like they did not care if they lived or died. They flew straight into the Valkyrie formations, firing at point-blank range. They rammed damaged ships into Valkyrie vessels. They sacrificed themselves to create openings for their friends. They are insane, a Valkyrie captain screamed over the communication channels. They are completely insane. He was dead 3 seconds later. In the first hour of the battle, the Valkyrie lost 300 ships. The humans lost 50. But the humans did not stop. They did not slow down. They kept coming on. The Vengeance Isanyun Jisu picked up civilian distress calls from the planet's surface. People were scared. They could see the battle in their sky. They did not know what was going to happen to them. Captain, she said carefully, I am receiving civilian communications from the surface. They are frightened. They are asking if we are going to attack them. Minho did not answer immediately. He was watching the battle on his tactical screen. Human ships dying. Valkyrie ships dying. Fire and death everywhere. Captain? Jisu said again, I heard you, Ensign. Minho's voice was tired. Tell them nothing. Let them be scared. Let them feel what our people felt. Jisu opened her mouth to argue, then closed it. She turned back to her station. Commander Han moved closer to Minho. Are we going to attack the planet? He asked quietly. Are we going to kill civilians? Minho looked at him. What do you think? I think you are angry. I think you have every right to be angry. But I also think you are not a murderer. Minho smiled, but there was no happiness in it. Maybe I am now. No, Han said firmly. You are not. I know you, Minho. You are better than this. Before Minho could respond, Beak interrupted. Captain, I have located the Valkyrie flagship. High Commander Voreth is on board. Minho's eyes went cold. Prepare boarding parties. I want him alive. Han straightened up. I will lead the boarding team myself. Doyun, you do not have to. Yes, I do. Han met his captain's eyes. Someone needs to look that creature in the face and make him understand what he did. Someone needs to do it without losing themselves. Let me do this. Minho studied his old friend for a long moment. Then he nodded. Go, bring him to me. Han took a team of 50 Marines and flew to the Valkyrie flagship. They cut through the hull and fought their way inside. Valkyrie soldiers tried to stop them. They failed. Han lost 12 of his people getting to the command bridge. When he got there, he found High Commander Voreth waiting with a weapon in his hand. Human, Voreth said. His voice was full of contempt, but his hands were shaking. You think you have won? You think this is over? The galaxy will condemn you for this. You will be called monsters, barbarians. Han walked toward him slowly. His armor was covered in blood. Some of it was his. Most of it was not. The galaxy will call us many things, Han said. I do not care. I only care about one thing. What? Han stopped in front of Voreth. They were the same height. Han could see the fear in the Valkyrie's yellow eyes. Did you give the order? Han asked. Did you order the attack on New Basan? Voreth hesitated. Then his contempt came back. Yes, I gave the order. And I would give it again. Humans are weak. Humans are. Han shot him in the leg. Vorith screamed and fell to the ground. We never claimed to be better than you, Han said. He stood over the screaming Valkyrie commander. We claim to be patient. We claim to be civilized. We claim to believe in peace. He bent down close. You exhausted our patience. You proved that civilization means nothing to creatures like you. You made peace impossible. He grabbed Vorith by the collar and dragged him toward the door. Now you are going to live. You are going to tell your people what happened here. You are going to tell every species in this galaxy what happens when you touch our people. Kill me, Vorith begged. Just kill me. No, Han said. Dead species tell no tales. You are going to tell this tale for the rest of your miserable life. He dragged Vorith out of the flagship and back to the Vengeance. The battle was over. The Valkyrie fleet was destroyed. 487 ships gone. Their orbital stations were burning. Their military infrastructure was in ruins. The planet below was untouched. The civilians were safe. The children were safe. Minho stood on his bridge and looked at the destruction around him. He had lost 60 ships. Thousands of human soldiers were dead. The price was high. The price was always high, but New Bizan was avenged. He opened a channel to Earth. President Lee, this is Captain Cho. The Valkyrie military is destroyed. Their leadership is captured. Their ability to wage war is gone. President Lee's face appeared on the screen. She looked older than she had a week ago. And their civilians? Untouched. Lee closed her eyes for a moment. When she opened them, there were tears. Good, we have shown them who we are when we are provoked. Now we show them who we choose to be. Come home, Captain. Bring our people home. Yes, Madam President. Minho ended the call and looked at his crew. They were exhausted. They were wounded. They were changed forever, but they were alive and they were going home. 6 months passed. The galaxy was different now. Everyone could feel it. Something had shifted in the balance of power, in the way species looked at each other. In the way they looked at the small blue planet called Earth. Admiral Park Taiho stood at the window of his home in Seoul. He had retired 1 month after the war ended. He could not do it anymore. He could not look at reports and give orders and send young people to die. He had done enough of that for one lifetime. He thought about the 60 ships they had lost. The 18,000 soldiers who would never come home. He knew all their names. He had memorized them. He would carry them with him until he died. His communicator beeped. He looked at the message. It was an invitation to the dedication ceremony for the New Bizan Memorial. He had been asked to speak. He had refused 3 times already. They kept asking. He deleted the message, far away. On the rebuilt colony of New Bizan, Captain Cho Minho walked through empty streets. The buildings were new, but no one lived in them yet. The survivors were still deciding if they wanted to come back. Only 200,000 people had survived the attack. 200,000 out of 4.2 million. Minho stopped in front of a school. It was small and white with a playground outside, just like the one his brother had taught in. Just like the one that had burned. He took his brother's service medal from his pocket and looked at it. Cho Sung-ho. Teacher, brother, dead at 34. I'm sorry, Minho said quietly. I'm sorry I was not here. I'm sorry I could not save you. He placed the medal at the base of the school entrance. But I made them pay. I made them understand. I hope that is enough. I hope you can rest now. He stood there for a long time. Then he turned and walked away. On Earth, Lieutenant Beak Sora sat in a government office and filled out transfer papers. She was requesting reassignment from combat duty to diplomatic security. The woman behind the desk looked confused. Lieutenant Beak, your combat record is exceptional. Why would you want to leave the fleet? Beak thought about the question. She thought about all the Valkyrie ships she had destroyed. All the lives she had ended. She was good at it. Too good. Someone has to make sure this never happens again, she said. Someone has to protect the diplomats and the peacemakers. I would like to be that someone. The woman nodded slowly. Transfer approved. Welcome to Diplomatic Security, Lieutenant. In the Galactic Federation Council chambers, Commander Han Do-yun stood before representatives of 50 species. He was wearing a new uniform with new rank insignia. Admiral Han Do-yun now. He had not wanted the promotion. He had accepted it because someone needed to rebuild humanity's relationship with the galaxy. Admiral Han, the Council President said, the Federation is concerned about Earth's military capabilities. We were not aware of the Reaper fleet. We were not informed. This is against Federation protocols. Han nodded. You are right. We kept secrets. We built weapons in hidden bases. We violated your trust. He paused. And if we had not done those things, 4.2 million more of our people would be alive today. Or perhaps not. Perhaps if the Valkyrie had known about our ships, they would not have attacked at all. The Council was silent. We are not asking for forgiveness, Han continued. We are not asking you to understand. We are only asking for one thing. Remember. Remember what happened to our people. Remember what we did in response. Remember that we could have destroyed the Valkyrie homeworld. We could have killed billions. We chose not to. We are not monsters. We are not barbarians. We are people who protect our own. He looked around the chamber at the alien faces. Some were still angry. Some were afraid. Some were beginning to understand. We want peace, Han said. We have always wanted peace. But we will never again be helpless. We will never again watch our children die while the galaxy holds meetings. If that makes you uncomfortable, then be uncomfortable. If that makes you afraid, then be afraid. But also be safe. Because as long as we are here, no one will do to anyone else what the Valkyrie did to us. He stepped down from the platform. The chamber was completely silent. Then slowly, one representative started to clap. Then another. Then more. It was not everyone. It was not even most. But it was some. It was a start. Ambassador Quan Haiji met Han outside the chamber. She looked tired but satisfied. That was a good speech, he said. I meant every word. I know. That is why it was good. On Earth, President Li Jie visited the new Bissem Memorial for the first time. It was a wall of names. 4.2 million names, carved in black stone. She walked along the wall slowly, reading names as she passed. Fathers, mothers, children, teachers, farmers, doctors, all gone. All remembered. A small girl was standing near the end of the wall with her mother. She looked about 7 years old. She saw the president and her eyes went wide. Are you President Li? The girl asked. Li smiled gently. Yes, I am. My grandmother was on New Bizan, the girl said. She died there. Li knelt down so she was at the girl's eye level. I am very sorry about your grandmother. The girl nodded seriously. Then she asked, Are we the good guys? Li felt her heart tighten. She thought about the question. She thought about the ships they had sent, the people they had killed, the anger and the revenge and the blood. We are the ones who make sure there is someone left to ask that question, she said finally. The girl looked confused. Her mother gently pulled her away. Li stood up slowly and looked back at the wall of names. We are not heroes, she thought. We are not villains. We are just people who were pushed too far. People who pushed back across the galaxy. Species updated their diplomatic files on humanity. They changed classifications and threat assessments and trade priorities. They rethought alliances and strategies and assumptions, and on every file, in every database, on every planet and station and ship, one word was added to the entry on Earth. One word that would stay there forever. Remember. On New Bizan. The sun was setting. The empty streets glowed orange and red. In a few months, people would start moving back. They would fill the buildings and open the shops and send their children to the new schools. Life would return. It always did, but they would never forget. None of them would ever forget. Minh stood at the edge of the colony and watched the sunset. His communicator beeped. It was Ensign Yun. No, Lieutenant Yun now. She had been promoted after the war. Captain, she said, the Vengeance is ready to return to Earth. We are waiting for you. Minho took one last look at the colony. One last look at the place where his brother had lived and died. I'm on my way, he said. He walked back to his shuttle and flew up to meet his ship. The Vengeance was waiting in orbit, black and angular and scarred from battle. It was not a beautiful ship. It was not a kind ship. But it was his ship. And it had brought his people home. Set course for Earth, he told the helmsman. Yes, Captain. The Vengeance turned and jumped into hyperspace. Behind it, New Bizan grew smaller and smaller until it was just another point of light among billions. The war was over. The dead were remembered. The living moved on. And the galaxy would never forget what happened. When Earth stopped playing civilized. Never.